guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys are all doing well. So today I wanted to do an overview of my 5th graders history pick for 2022-2023 school year. Out my curriculum picks for my 5th grader, you know that we went ahead and chose Notgrass again for our history. We love Notgrass, you guys. We've been using them since she was in 3rd grade. For 3rd and 4th grade, we worked through our Star Spangled Story. I sprinkled in some unit studies that I created, and we just love their curriculum, you guys. It's a very soft approach. It's written in a narrative way. So it was really a nice curriculum. The illustrations in the books are always really beautiful. It's just bright and colorful, and it engages the kids, and the lessons aren't super long. They have, I don't know, I would say 4 to 6 pages. So it makes it like a pretty decent size lesson for, you know, each day that you're going to work through their book. Now, again, we worked through it for 2 years, so we just wrapped it up for 4th grade. I will say that we still have a few lessons to work through, and that's because of all the unit studies that I added into it. So this year, before we can actually get started in our new curriculum books, I have to finish out last year's. I believe we'll still have civil rights and that I'm adding into with unit studies. So we'll do Ruby Bridges, and then I have quite a bit of civil rights units that I want to get through, and then there's a few others that I think we still need to get through. So I'm thinking it'll probably take about 4 to 6 weeks to finish off that, and then we'll go ahead and get started with this. Another one that we used through through Notgrass was Our 50 States, and that one was awesome. We just love Notgrass. I even used it for our 7th grade and 8th grade niece, and we've loved every single one of them. So the only one we haven't done so far besides high school is this one. This is America the Beautiful. This is for grades 5th through 8th, so it's the middle grades. And it comes with 3 hard books. So basically, these 2 books are your curriculum, workbooks that you're gonna read through, okay? So basically it's the textbook, but it's not really a textbook, if you get what I'm saying. So part 1, part 2, this one's gonna work through America from 1000 to 1877, and then this one is gonna work through America from the late 1800s to present time now. So again, we are going to be working through this probably 2 years, just like we did our Star Spangled Story. I don't think I'm going to be using any unit studies or anything. I don't know. I may find something in here that I really want her to learn more about. So we're going to work through book 1 this year and then book 2 next year. Because the way Notgrass has their curriculum set up is, like I said, this book is for grades 5 through 8, but there's only 3 curriculums for those grades. So it's this one, it is From Adam to Us, which is world history, and then there's Uncle Sam and You, which is like a government civics history. So we only have 3 curriculums for 4 years. So I'm gonna do book 1 this year, book 2 probably next year, and so on. We'll see though, you know how things change. I may change my mind, something else may come out. I'm not quite sure, but if we enjoy this how we have in the past, we're gonna continue with Notgrass. The other book that came in this package was We the People. Now this is basically poems, documents, letters from specific people in history that we are going to be reading about in their book. So it kind of just enriches that lesson. Do you know what I mean? It's like an enrichment to that lesson that we're learning. So it's really pretty. In this curriculum, there are a total of 30 units. So in each book, there's 15 units. And in each unit, there's 5 lessons. So within the 2 books, there's only a total of 150 lessons. Now, like I said, you guys can add things to it. You guys can enrich it in some way, so it can actually make the lessons longer to make one book last a full year. Or you can do 2 books in the year and not add anything. There's enough in these books to keep you guys busy. And there's a lot of information to be learned. In each unit, it's broken up into different types of lessons to give the kids variety. So basically, say you started on Monday, Monday is going to basically be the American story, so major events in a time period. So then the second lesson would be on Tuesday, and it's going to be God's wonder. So like what God placed in America at that time period during that specific lesson. Wednesday would be on an American landmark. So a landmark that was man-made and was significant during that time and in that lesson that you're learning. On Thursday, it's going to be an American biography. So a person who lived during that specific time that they're learning about. And then on Friday would be your fifth lesson, and that was basically written to be like an everyday life. So how people lived and worked during that time through that specific lesson that you're reading about. Now these obviously don't have to go Monday through Friday. You can break it up. You could do 3 days a week with history. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it just changes every lesson up with those 5 different types of lessons. Now within this curriculum, it actually has Bible, vocabulary, literature, creative writing type things, history and geography. Now we are only using this as history and I guess geography because we are going to be using the maps that are provided in here unless something, you know, changes my mind during the year. But that is our plan. Now for me specifically, I don't really consider this a Bible curriculum. Is Bible sprinkled throughout? Yes, there's verses. It just comes from more of a biblical standpoint when you're learning the lesson. But it's not really teaching the actual Bible. So I wouldn't really consider it being a Bible curriculum. So if you chose this for Bible, I would definitely maybe add some more to it. Now literature, you can choose the books that they've provided. They have like a package that you can purchase that you can read alongside what you're reading for history because it goes along with what you're learning about. The books that they've chosen for that specific time to read will go with the lesson that you're learning about. So I'm just going to share with you guys one lesson. So this is lesson 43. This is about an American landmark. It shares with you here what the topic is on. This is the Erie Canal. So you're going to read through the lesson. Has fast forward. It has a little bit going through that town, showing what it is now and what it was then. And then you get to the last part of this lesson. At the end of each lesson, you're going to have a verse from the Bible, which is great to have. It kind of coincides with the lesson that you just read about. And then here are the activities to go through with your kiddos for lesson 43. Now you can pick and choose what you're doing through here. This has everything from your history, your geography, literature, the family activity. So basically it tells you that you can read We the People, page 52. So I'm just going to share that with you guys here. So if I go to page 52, so here in We the People on page 52, it's Low Bridge, Everybody Down. This is actually a folk song. It explains what the folk song is, where it came about, who wrote it. You can actually go to their website that they give you and listen to the track as your kiddo and yourself read through it or sing through it. But that's totally up to you. You don't have to do this at all. It's just something to kind of enrich the lesson. And then, so moving down, we go to the map study. Tells you what pages to do, and that would be this. It also tells you timeline, which is this book here. And then it also tells you that if you do have a student workbook or the lesson review book, you can have your kiddos work on one of those. Now, if you guys were here for my curriculum picks, you know that I did not purchase one of those books, but this pack that I did get came with the answer key and the literature guide. So what I'm going to actually do is if you go inside of this book here, you can see it's kind of broken up. So this is your answers for your timeline. You have answers for your student workbook, answers for your lesson review. Also, I wasn't aware that the workbook, they either have one that's like a student workbook and one is a lesson review. The workbook has more like crosswords, word searches, things like that. And the lesson review booklet has like, each lesson has 5 questions that you answer that go with the lesson. Now, for some reason, I overlooked that and I just didn't think that one even came with this curriculum, but I guess you're supposed to purchase it individually. Now, I decided you can choose one or the other, and I decided we already do a lesson review with Tally's geography, and it has 5 questions, and she does really well with that, and it helps her retain it. So I'm thinking that that's what we're gonna use, is the lesson review. And as I was looking through this, because I always like to kind of skim through the new stuff before I actually sit down and really look through it. And in this, what is it called? Answers, Key, and Literature book, where it has all the answers. When you look for the lesson review, let me see if you guys can see it. There's like a lesson, where is it? This lesson review here. There's an actual question. So the questions are in here as well as the answers. So I'm just going to read the question to my daughter, have her tell me the answer, and then write that in like probably my planner or something for what lesson it was on and how well she did, what she got right, or how many she got right out of the 5. So basically, the Central Pacific recruited immigrants from what country? So she would say China, hopefully, and she would get that right. So I'm just gonna use this. I'm not even gonna purchase that. I don't think we need it. And then it tells you what to do with your literature, what chapter to read in the book. And it tells you about the family activity, which is here. So you can totally pick and choose what all you want to include in this lesson. So I wanted to share with you guys a couple of the books that are with this as well. Maps of America the Beautiful. So these are basically just maps inside to work alongside your lesson. Here at the top, you will see Map 1, America the Beautiful, Lesson 1. So this is what they're going to do along with this map. They go together. So basically, number 1, the Atlantic Ocean is east of the United States. Draw blue waves in the Atlantic Ocean. So they're going to find the Atlantic Ocean here and they're going to draw waves. And then the next question is, the Pacific Ocean is west of the United States. Draw blue waves in the Pacific Ocean. So they're basically just following these instructions with this map. And that's basically how it goes throughout. Both the pages aren't always going to go together on the same lesson. So map 2, which is this map here, you are going to see lesson 2, they just have to do this. Lesson 3, they do this. Lesson 4, so it walks through that way. So they are going to use these maps throughout their lessons. Same with this one here for map 3, the map of the United States. They have all of these that they have to go through. So they have lesson 3 here, lesson 8, 11, 20, 24. So you will find that in your book that you are going to be going through, or your kid is going to go through. I'm going to go to lesson 3 real quick just so that I can show you where it tells you to go. So you know, because that's all mixed up. So this is lesson 3. So basically, where's the map? Right here. So complete the assignment for lesson 3 on map 2 and map 3. So it tells you here. So for lesson 3, not only are they going to be using map 2, which is this one that I shared with you guys. Oops, wrong way. So this is going to be one that they're going to do here. And then they're also going to go to map 3 and work through lesson 3 instructions on this map. So it tells them exactly where to go in this book. They have the timeline here that goes with the lesson you're learning. So in the timeline book here, let me actually skip to the first page. We'll see that some of it is already filled in for them. So you see this little dot here in these lines, that's where they're going to be filling in their information for the timeline. And in the parentheses, that's the lesson number that they're going off of. So basically, I'm going to go back to lesson 3 that we just looked at when we did the map study. And with the timeline, it says, in the timeline of America the Beautiful, next to 1150, write Pueblo people build Acoma Pueblo. Okay, so you're going to go to 1150 in the timeline. which is here, and you can see where they have it ready for them to fill out, and you can see in the parentheses it says 3, and they tell them exactly what to say right here. So Pueblo people build a Coma Pueblo in what will later become New Mexico. So that is what they're going to be filling out here. So it's kind of cool how they already have some of this filled out with photos and everything. It'd be kind of a cool little keepsake to hold on to. But this is basically what the timeline looks like and how they've created it. All right, you guys, that's it. I hope that this was informative to you guys. So if you guys are interested at all in seeing any flip throughs of the Notgrass curriculums that we've used, I will link them down below in my description box for you guys if you would like to check them out. They have wonderful curriculums. So yeah, that's it, you guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me for a little bit. You guys be safe, be blessed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.
World had more of your smile. What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars,